Why is it that the average person is not rich? Why is it that despite working hard and earning a decent salary, most of us struggle to make ends meet and build meaningful wealth? The answer is simple to understand, but not necessarily intuitive for most people. In this installment of my Chalkboard Real Estate Investing series, I'll break it down for you in a way that makes sense and gives you actionable steps to start creating wealth for yourself. Let's get right into it. The first and biggest mistake that the average person makes when it comes to wealth is that they focus on earning more money instead of building wealth. People go to a job, punch the clock, and then count their dollars at the end of the week. When thinking about how to make more money, they typically think, is there any way I can get a raise? Or is there any way I can get some overtime? Then they go to their boss and they ask. Short of that, they may ask, is there another higher paying job that I can find? And then go and try to get hired for that job. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with thinking like that. You should, of course, try to maximize your earning potential in the job you currently have. You should know what options you have to make more money and take advantage of them as much as you can. Look, I was the same way. Even when I was working as a salaried associate at my law firm, I tried to make as much money as I could in my job. At the law firm, our salaries were set, but you also had a chance to earn a decent bonus at the end of the year based on your productivity. Specifically, the bonus was based on the amount of billable hours you worked over and above the annual minimum set by the firm, together with a percentage of any business, in other words, your own clients, that you brought into the firm. The final number was based on a formula and also on the overall profitability of the firm, and there was a maximum bonus ceiling. So one year, early on in my career, I really dedicated myself to working a lot of hours, busted my butt to do the best job that I could, and tried to scrounge up a little business for my own clients. I used the formula that my firm provided for determining what my bonus should come out to, and what I arrived at through my calculations was that I should get $25,000 as a bonus. But when it came time to receive the bonus check, I was disappointed to see that it was only $18,000, a full $7,000 less than I expected it to be. The reason, I was told, was that the formula is just a guideline and that the firm had to balance the bonuses out among all associates, as well as make sure that the firm was sufficiently profitable overall. Of course, I was thankful for getting any bonus at all, as all bonuses are discretionary and the firm did not actually have to give us anything, but I was pretty disappointed in the fact that what I did receive did not equate to the effort I had put in. And this brings me to my point. Earning money through a job and building wealth are not the same thing. Earning money simply means that you're trading your time and energy for a paycheck. When you work a job for someone else, your income is set by that person or company. Whether you can get a raise and how much it will be is decided by them. Whether you can work overtime is decided by them. And whether you can get a bonus and how much that bonus will be is also decided by them. And worst of all, there are only 24 hours in a day and 168 hours in a week, and you can't work more time than you physically have. So becoming wealthy from a job in a relatively short period of time is almost impossible unless your job pays you a very, very large amount of money, which for most people, it does not. In order to build wealth, you need to buy and create assets that generate passive income and increase in value over time without requiring you to constantly put in your own time into them to make them grow. So what are assets exactly? An asset is anything that generates income or has the potential to increase in value over time. This can include things like rental properties, which is my favorite, stocks, bonds, and businesses. The key to building wealth is to focus on acquiring assets that will provide you with passive income instead of just focusing on earning more money. This is because passive income allows you to continue earning money even when you're not working, and it's the key to financial freedom. The thing that I love the most about real estate as an asset class is that once you learn how to find the right deals, it can produce ridiculously outsized returns for you as compared to the other asset classes such as stocks and bonds. I know that there are plenty of other people who swear that you can do the same thing with stocks by finding and investing in undervalued companies which are on the verge of blowing up and then sitting back and reaping the price appreciation. If those people are telling the truth, and if they really can consistently do this, which I honestly highly doubt, more power to them. But here's the critical difference between the real estate investments that I'm talking about and stock picking that I want you to understand. When people pick an up-and-coming stock, they simply buy it and then wait to see if their pick was right or wrong. Sometimes they will be right, and sometimes they will be wrong. With real estate, I know going into the deal, before I put a single dollar into it, that I'm buying something that will have a ridiculously high return on investment. This is because the real estate market is inefficient. What I mean by that is that unlike stocks, every buyer doesn't know everything about a property, and the property doesn't even have to be bought and sold on the open market. By the same token, every seller doesn't even know all the potential value that their property actually has either. As an investor, if you are educated enough and clever enough to find the hidden value that you know will generate a large return, but the value you pay for the property is based on its apparent value, you are guaranteed to make an immediate and substantial profit. You can call this value add or forced appreciation or any other term you want, but the point is that this is what separates real estate investing from investing in other popular asset classes. And it's why it's my favorite asset class to invest in. Aside from understanding what assets are and building assets, the second key to building wealth is discipline and planning. Building wealth requires hard work and sacrifices, but it's not enough to just work hard and save money. You need to have a plan in place for how you're going to allocate your resources and create assets. This means setting financial goals, creating a budget, investing in your education and knowledge, and being patient and disciplined when it comes to spending and saving. Let's be honest, if it was easy to be wealthy and if you could do it from your couch with no effort or time invested, everyone would be rich. But they're not. Most people take the easy route. Figuring out how to become wealthy requires you to step out of your routine and out of your comfort zone. You have to seek out new information, create new routines, and build new connections. This can be a very nerve-wracking process for a lot of people. It's a lot easier to just stay in your familiar environment, keep going to your job, and coasting along through life. If that's you, that's totally fine. I'm not here to judge you. But if you're watching this video, I assume you want something more for yourself. And if you do, you need to take actionable steps to get there. You can't just keep doing what you have been doing, continuing, wishing, and dreaming that someday you will become rich, and expect that it will happen. By the time that I felt the disappointment with the low bonus for my law firm that I talked about earlier, I had already been working on my plan B. By then, I had already purchased a couple of rental properties while working full-time as a lawyer and busting my butt for 50 to 60 hours per week in the office. But when that disappointment happened, I knew right then and there that I had to redouble my efforts and lean in even harder into building assets, and in my case, fully immersing myself in learning all there was to learn about real estate. Less than 10 years after I started, I was able to leave my corporate law firm job because of the assets and businesses I built connected to real estate, which didn't happen because I sat around wishing and dreaming, but happened because I took action and followed through. Another important factor to building wealth is, of course, understanding that it probably won't happen overnight. It requires time and having the power of compounding work in your favor. Compounding is the process of earning interest on your interest, and it's one of the most powerful forces in finance. Whether you're investing in the stock market or real estate or other forms of assets, you need to give them time to grow, especially if you're starting from a place of a modest amount of money invested. The more you can double and triple down on your investments, the faster they will compound for you. Assets, as I defined them earlier, by definition grow and increase in value and produce income. Instead of selling them or spending the income they produce to buy non-assets, you need to continue reinvesting the growth and the income back into your existing assets and into buying more similar assets. By doing this, you will see an exponential growth curve to your wealth. The more time you can give it, the higher the value of your wealth will climb. As I mentioned, it took me 10 years to reach financial independence and quit my six-figure law firm job. If I continue doing what I have been doing for the next 10 years, I will be able to build generational wealth for my children and my grandchildren. This is the power of compounding, and you should absolutely take advantage of it if your goal is to build wealth. Finally, building wealth also requires that you surround yourself with the right people. This means seeking out mentors and role models who have already achieved the level of success that you aspire to, and building relationships with like-minded individuals who share your values and goals. For me, in real estate, it means finding the right business partners and team members. No matter what investment path you take, you need to have the right people around you in order to succeed. In real estate, you need to know and build relationships with other investors, real estate agents, insurance brokers, mortgage brokers, lawyers, inspectors, maintenance people, construction companies, and many others. You will never go as far alone as a one-person show as you will when you leverage the knowledge, expertise, and assistance of other professionals around you. And speaking of becoming wealthy in real estate and going farther, if you want to see how even a single property can make you a millionaire using the house hacking strategy, check out this video I posted last year. When you see the math behind this investment strategy, you may seriously rethink everything you've been doing. It's definitely eye-opening. Tap or click the screen, and I'll see you there.